Hey YouTube, this is City Prepping. I want to welcome you back. Hope you had a great holiday break and a happy new year. I haven't uploaded a video in quite a while, and really as a team, we took the last couple of weeks off to just take a break, kind of pull back, catch our breath, and really sit down and evaluate what we want to do for this coming year. And it was really nice to just get away from everything, all the news, and just honestly mentally take a break. But as they say, it's time to come back to reality. And coming back to the studio, sitting down, I knew the problems would be here waiting, the different events going on in the world. And as I sat down and began to look at this year, the challenges on the horizon, I think I realized more and more that there's a decision that we really have to make at this time. So let's talk about it. A few months ago, I was talking with a friend, and to call him a hardcore prepper would be quite the understatement. And he pointed out that for years he's been preparing for different issues that have been coming up. But in the last several months, especially in this last year, as these threats have played out, it's become just increasingly more obvious as to why we prepare, why he prepares. And there's been a sense of unease that we've all felt. While I've tried to stay optimistic, as I pointed out many times on the channel, I value being a realist, viewing the world not how I want it to be, but really how it is, and how it is clearly playing out in front of us. And as of late, there's been a note of, for lack of better words, apocalypse in the air. A sense that we're on the edge of our very existence at times. And for some, this spawns feelings of fear, anxiety, and uncertainty. But as I always try to point out on this channel, you can allow those feelings to be debilitating, or you can wrestle them down and you can own them and let them serve as fuel to propel you forward. And with this channel, I try to be so careful how I present information. I realize that fear is a powerful tool, and we've all heard the old advertising cliche that sex sells, but I've watched increasingly as fear has been used as a tool to manipulate people. And I say this as I don't want this channel to be reduced to promoting fear, and I mean that sincerely. I'm very conscious of that fact and how I go about shaping the videos, the thumbnails, and the titles. I do, however, want to convey some very serious issues that we must be aware of, while at the same time providing relevant information to help individuals learn to prepare. But how do I convey the serious issues that we all face and will increasingly face in this era of change? The era where the proverbial chicken has come home to roost. The issues that we've put off for years are now coming to the doorstep, our doorstep, and they've got to be resolved. My background, it was in science, and based on the information I study and follow, we're in for some very difficult times. And we know things are not going to get easier, especially when it comes to preparing. And I released a poll this morning asking the community if they think things will get worse, the same, or better than 2022. And to no one's surprise, the answer was 72% worse, with only 5% stating that things will get better. Again, no surprise. And this is what leads me to the point of this video. There's a decision that you must make. If you've been actively engaged in preparing, learning, and developing skills, congratulations. You're doing a great job. But don't get too comfortable. But if you've been on the fence or just not prioritizing preparedness, I'm not really sure what to say at this point that would encourage you to do so. If you're unsure where to start, I just released a video covering 5 practical things that you can do to prepare in 2023. And I would encourage you to go back and watch that if you haven't done so already. And I'll put a link to it in the description and up in the cards above. All this to say, there's a decision that you must make. Time is not really on our side. So will you step up and prepare? Will you take the necessary steps to get ready? I am, and I'm doing all I can to actively take my own preparedness to a new level. I've had to make some difficult decisions over the Christmas break and pulling back and taking time to, again, kind of unplug, just letting my mind go for a second and just not having to focus on the day-to-day. It's been very helpful in prioritizing and focusing on things that I think will be a priority for me, my household, my family over the next few years. And there's been a few things that I've been on the fence about, some decisions that I've been trying to make or get some clarity on, things that will make some big differences in my life and my family's life, what I believe in relation to what I believe will be coming over the next several years. And I think things will increasingly get more difficult. And there's a lot on the line. My family, and again, for me, that is one of the most, how should I put it, the focus for me in my endeavors of preparedness. What motivates me, what is the thing that helps propel me forward in addition to trying to help educate this community. But clearly, if I was single or on my own, I'd probably do the best I could on my own, but now there's other people that are dependent on me. And it's something that I want to leave a legacy behind and the skills and the infrastructure so that they'll be prepared for whatever may be coming. All that to say, I'm very excited about the channel this year, and I'm working with the team on multiple videos to try to help this community build as practical as possible, ways that you can implement to practically prepare is what I'm trying to say. For example, about a month ago, we started the gardening series to give you time to prepare and learn before the growing season. We've purposely been trickling those videos out over the last several weeks. I think we've done 3. We've got the 4th in queue to release here shortly. And I hope you follow along with this. So far, we've gotten 4, and we'll probably go to about 8 or 9 leading up to actual planting season in March or May, wherever you're at, whatever zone you're in. And getting back to the main point here, I chose this title and message as my first video of the year for a reason. There's something unique about the beginning of a year. It's kind of a time to reflect on the past and an opportunity to start anew. And I'll finish this video by sharing a book that I'm reading. This one I've read and I'm rereading it right now. It's called Atomic Habits. It's just a really practical book on building habits that will make a huge difference in your life. But it's all about starting with the principle of just moving 1% incrementally each day to get better and better. Now, I bring that up in the context of this discussion because at the beginning of the year, especially when it comes to preparedness, it can feel overwhelming when you look across all the different things that you feel that you have to get done, whether that's get your gear in order, your food in order, your water in order, building gardens. I mean, all the things that go into moving yourself along in this journey. And it's easy to get overwhelmed. But I would encourage you to start with the habit of just saying, how can I improve 1% daily? I tend to move in batches. I tend to like to do big projects at a time. It's hard for me to do 1%, but I'm finding ways, again, to do things incrementally. I'll share a practical thing. Some of our bug out bags need to be overhauled, reevaluate. Our kids have grown since I made them last. I've cannibalized some of the bags over the last several months with my son being in scouts, and we've had to pull gear. And I had to step back and reevaluate the bags, and I realized they were incredibly deficient. But it's something that I put off for a long time, but I spent the day yesterday going through them and overhauling them. So I know for me, it feels good to accomplish those goals. So whatever it is for you, whether that's to say I need to build the food inventory or go back and overhaul it or review it, go for it. I'll post a link to a video I did on building a food supply. It's all about taking those little steps. And that's really my pursuit at this point, just to edge forward a little more each day, to try to find something that I can sit down and learn, something I can incorporate into my life to get ready, something I can improve upon. And that's one of the things I love about preparedness. It encourages me to do better, to seek, to go after better pursuits, to not allow myself to get lazy, to fall into the trap of comfort. But it's rather, what I love again about prepping is that it pushes me to new goals and new ambitions to better myself, to prepare my family. And in saying that, it's easy for me to find these big projects that I need to focus on, these grand resolutions. And it's easy for us at the beginning of the year to sit down and say, oh, I'll do all these big things that inevitably, if you get a few months in, you begin to push those by the wayside, that diet or whatever it is. But I would encourage you, commit yourself to just trying to find a way to improve 1% daily. And I promise you can make great strides over a year's time. I'm excited to take you on this journey as I grow my own skills and increasingly move towards self-sufficiency over this year. That for me is the big thing that I'm really going to be focusing on. I don't want to give too much away, but in the next several weeks, we're going to be rolling out various practical videos to hopefully give you ideas as you prepare to move on this journey of preparedness. We're going to get through this year, but we've definitely got challenges. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not worried about this year, but I realize we're on a path, if I could say it that way, on a journey that we have to prepare for. And I encourage you, and I hope you are making the decision to prepare. This is, again, a year where I want to step my game up and go to a new level, and I'm excited to take you on this journey. And we've got this. I believe we do. As always, stay safe out there.